Hi, my name is Natalia, and I'm a real estate attorney here in the state of Florida. And today I also wanted to talk to you about COVID-19 relief for commercial tenants. And this is pertaining to the use of security deposits and like funds when providing relief assistance for your tenants if you are a commercial landlord. So, a couple of things I want you to keep in mind before entering into any type of an agreement to provide relief, and this is temporary relief for your commercial tenants. I want you to think about asking for the financials for the business, at least the last 3 months for your tenant. Ask if they have applied for any financial assistance, whether federal or state, relating to the operation of their business. And also ask about their business plan for the next 6 months, meaning, do they have a plan on how to go forward and how to, not only during this period of slowdown, but also after the restrictions on movement and business practices are lifted. So that is the number one thing that you want to think about before you even start offering economic assistance to your clients. But things to consider when it comes to the security deposit. So obviously, if you have a written lease, which you should if it's a commercial tenant, in that written lease, you need to look up your clause about how that security deposit is to be used and how it is determined, because you will have to do, if you do any modification, a lease addendum as to how those funds are going to be used. So here's a few ideas on how you can use those funds or offer those funds to be a method of relief for your commercial tenants. You can use the security deposit as a rent with an addendum to the lease. You can state, this is the rent due, this is what we have in security deposit. We have both agreed that the rent will be taken from the security deposit for X number of months, however much it can be used for. You need to remember, can your own lender as a landlord provide you with a forbearance during 30, 60, 90 days? And that can also give you an idea on whether you can reduce the rent that you are collecting in addition to applying what's in the security deposit for rent for those months in which you're providing that relief to your tenant. Now, it's also very important that you have something in there in the agreement for relief that allows you to get back that security deposit, because it's important for you to be able to make repairs necessary to the property once the lease term is over. So what I recommend is, for example, you can, over the remaining life of the lease term after the relief period, prorate how much they need to pay monthly in order to replenish that security deposit. So by the end of the lease term, you have that available. You can also talk about whether they can vacate if they're interested in vacating, so that you can release the premises to another commercial tenant that is ready, willing, and able to operate. There are plenty of companies that right now are actually booming and growing as a result of the need for their type of industry during this COVID epidemic. So think about that as well. And another thing you might want to do is, if you can, if your lender is willing to forbear for your part, you can also, of course, if you don't have security deposits or insufficient security deposits, add an additional 30 to 90-day period to the lease so that you can at least recoup those rents during that period. You'll also have a guaranteed tenant, or at least more of a guaranteed tenant during that time. So that's something to think about there. And I also wanted to remind you, always bear in mind that your tenant can file and may file for bankruptcy relief, and that there are bankruptcy provisions that get triggered for landlords when a tenant files for bankruptcy protection. I have a video on that in our YouTube page, so you can check out that video. It's from last year, so just look through the first videos. You'll be able to find out more information on bankruptcy effects when it comes to landlords and tenants. Good luck out there, investors, and we're here to help you.